I always knew my parents treated my son, Aiden, like he did not belong in their perfect little world. It was never loud or obvious at first. It was quiet. It was the way they looked away. The way their smiles disappeared when he walked into a room. The way they acted like his presence left a stain on everything they cared about. For a long time, I told myself I was imagining it. I told myself they just needed time. I told myself that once they really saw him, once they understood how sweet and gentle he was, they would change. I held on to that hope even when it hurt. Especially when it hurt. But the day they locked us out of their house like we were sick, like we carried something dirty, that was the day I finally understood the truth. There was no misunderstanding. There was no mistake. There was no love hiding underneath. There was only disgust. Before that day, I still carried a small, foolish hope. A soft hope. The kind of hope that comes from wanting parents to finally do better. I believed that one day they would look at my son and see a child, not a problem. A boy, not a burden. Instead, all they ever showed him was coldness. They showed him distance. They showed him annoyance so sharp it felt like ice in the air. Growing up, I was the family doormat. My mother, Janice, liked to call it keeping the peace. But what it really meant was this: I stayed quiet so everyone else could stay comfortable. My brother Kyle was the golden child. He could do no wrong. He was loud, careless, and reckless, and my parents adored him for it. When Kyle crashed cars, skipped school, or even burned down our shed because his friends dared him, my parents cried and said, "Boys make mistakes." But when I brought home a B- in math, my father grounded me for weeks. He told me I was embarrassing the family. He told me I was ruining their standards. That was when I learned something important as a child. Fairness did not matter in my parents' house. Love was earned, and only certain people were allowed to earn it. When I became a mother at 26, I thought things would change. I really did. I believed that holding a grandchild would soften them. I believed they would finally look at me and say they were sorry. I imagined them becoming kind grandparents, the kind I always wished I had. But instead of changing, their cruelty simply found a new target. My son, Aiden. Aiden was 5 years old then. He was gentle and quiet. He loved drawing dinosaurs, even though he mixed up their names. He carried a stuffed fox everywhere, holding it by the tail. He noticed little things, like bugs on the sidewalk and shapes in the clouds. Because he was not loud, not sporty, and not a copy of Kyle, my parents acted like he did not exist. They mocked his drawings and said they looked like baby scribbles. They ignored him at dinner like he was invisible. They sighed loudly when he asked questions. And when he tripped or spilled something, my mother would mutter, just like his mother. Always causing problems. The worst part was how hard Aiden tried. He brought them flowers from the yard, carefully picked with dirty little hands. He drew pictures just for them and left them on the table. He smiled shyly and said hello every time he saw them. And every single time, they reacted like he had handed them trash. That Saturday morning felt peaceful at first. The sun was warm. The sky was clear. It was the kind of day that tricks you into thinking nothing bad can happen. I had taken Aiden to ride his scooter in the small park near my parents' house. They had insisted we spend more time together as a family. What they really meant was that I should help them prepare for brunch. Kyle's girlfriend was coming, and they needed extra hands. Aiden was riding ahead of me, laughing at a squirrel that ran up a tree. Then everything happened at once. A teenage boy on a bike came flying around the corner too fast. I barely had time to scream. The bike hit Aiden hard in the side. His body lifted into the air and slammed onto the pavement. His cry ripped straight through me. The boy on the bike did not stop. He yelled sorry and kept riding like he had hit nothing more than a leaf. I dropped to my knees beside my son. My heart was pounding so hard I could barely hear anything else. His hands were scraped and bleeding. Dirt stuck to his skin. His knee was cut open so deep I could see red where skin should be. But the scariest part was his breathing. He made short, painful gasping sounds, holding his chest like it hurt too much to breathe. "It's okay, baby," I whispered. "I'm here. I've got you." My voice was shaking as I picked him up. His fingers grabbed my shirt, holding on like he was afraid to let go. His whole body trembled. We were only 1 block from my parents' house. I ran. I half-carried, half-dragged him because he could not stand. His shoes scraped the sidewalk, but I did not stop. I kept thinking, they will help. They have to help. He is their grandson. I stumbled onto their porch and banged on the door with my elbow, holding Aiden tight with both arms. "Mom. Dad. Please open the door," I cried. "Aiden is hurt." I heard footsteps inside. Relief rushed through me too fast. My mother's voice came through the door. Calm. Cold. Annoyed. "What is it now, Emma?" "We're busy." "He's bleeding," I said. "Please hurry." "Don't bring that inside," my father snapped. "Injuries bring bad luck." I froze. "Dad," I said slowly. "He got hit by a bike. He's in pain." My mother cut me off. "We don't need that kind of energy in our house today." Blood and crying spread chaos. Kyle's voice joined in, bored and irritated. "Seriously, take him somewhere else. Don't ruin brunch." My knees almost gave out. Aiden whimpered against my chest. "Mommy, it hurts." That sound pulled me back. I slammed my hand against the door. "Open it. Now." There was a click. For one hopeful second, I thought they were unlocking it. They weren't. They locked it again. "Go to urgent care," my mother said flatly. "Just don't bring that inside. Bad luck spreads." Something inside me broke. Not loudly. Not dramatically. It broke clean and quiet. I held my son tighter and whispered, "Okay. I understand now." I walked down the steps without looking back. At urgent care, the staff rushed us in. A nurse gasped when she saw his knee. Aiden screamed when they cleaned his wounds. I held his hands and kissed his forehead, promising him it would be okay. He needed stitches. Bandages. Pain medicine. When a doctor asked what happened and I told her the truth, she went silent. Later, a social worker came to speak with me. When she asked if I had family support, I finally told everything. Every pattern. Every cruel moment. Every dismissal. The locked door. Her face hardened. "What they did is neglect," she said. "You owe them nothing." Those words gave me air to breathe. From that moment on, I stopped protecting them. I told the truth. Quietly. Clearly. Carefully. By the next day, the neighborhood knew. The church knew. The people my parents cared about knew. And when I finally stood in front of them again, I did not yell. I did not cry. I did not beg. I simply told the truth. They tried to control the story. They tried to make me apologize. They tried to act like victims. But the truth does not need shouting. The truth just needs light. When I walked away with my son, they were no longer powerful. They were afraid. That was not the end. It was the beginning. My revenge was not loud. It was permanent. And when my son asked me, "Mommy, are we safe now?" I looked at him and smiled. "Yes," I said softly. "We finally are." Please like and subscribe for more videos. Also comment where you're watching from.